What fictional character do you feel bad for the most? The girl squirrel from the Sword in the Stone animated film. If you haven't seen it, the protagonist Arthur gets magically turned into a squirrel and a girl squirrel falls in love with him. When Arthur gets turned back into a human and leaves her all heartbroken and crying, it genuinely upset me. As a young kid, it was one of my first experiences of feeling real pity, and it's stuck with me ever since. It wouldn't have hit as hard if Merlin didn't note that they pick a mate for life. So a little boy's training lesson left that girl squirrel to be heartbroken for the rest of her life. The kid's like 12. How long do squirrels live anyway? Get the hell back in that tree and live a happy life with that girl squirrel, damn it. King of England can wait a few years. Squirrels can live like 20 years, so that's a hefty commitment just for pity's sake. Then again, he's English, so I'm surprised he didn't just commit to it out of fear of the social awkwardness caused by the reveal that he's a human, not a squirrel. Shrug. Oh well, guess I'm a squirrel now. Apostrophe. Butters, this poor kid is always manipulated by his friends and grounded for everything. Butters, you're grounded. That line always makes me laugh, but also feel so bad for him. AWW. Hamburgers. Goofy. I'm sure anyone around 30 or so who has seen the Goofy movie understands exactly what I mean. Oof. Yep, that was rough. He just wanted to spend time with Maximum. NGL Maximum was kind of an ass, especially in that scene right before he went to college. Like, damn, he spent all that time. You cold waited 15 minutes and eaten a nice home cooked breakfast. Why is everyone so mean to Charlie Brown? Also, Courage the Cowardly Dog had to put up with a lot of BS. No kidding, Charlie Brown does nothing but help his classmates all the time and just gets crap for it. Watched the Thanksgiving movie for the first time in years last Thanksgiving. I left absolutely pissed that they all invited themselves to Chuck's place and got pissy with what he was able to throw down for a last second meal. John Coffey from the Green Mile. Him and Edward Delacroix too. The one who talked to mice. But the ass butt of a young guard thought it would be funny not to wet the sponge. A word. That guy was a complete jackass. I still have yet to watch the movie, but I read the book. I don't know how he compares. Tom Robinson from To Kill a Mockingbird. I also feel bad for Boo Radley. Poor guy gets treated like crap by his abusive family. It's more than simple abuse. Has almost never let out of his house, and once his father died, his brother picks up and does the exact same thing to him. Faramir. I always feel bad for him when I rewatch the LOTR trilogy for the umpteenth time, the extended edition to boot, which tells more of Faramir's story. Yes, I wish that. Cuts like a knife, man, it's horrible. If I should return, think better of me, father. I always felt bad for poor old Edward Scissorhands. His pop died before giving him real hands. Teddy from Westwood. Poor guy has been treated like shit by everyone. The Marsden curse. He'll get his revenge when he plays the live-action Archer. EIO depression sucks. I was scrolling specifically for this comment, and I also remember this, which makes me feel a little better. He had friends who liked and accepted just the way he was, and included him on all their adventures together. Everyone deserves friends like that. Exactly. And they don't try to change him ever, because it's okay that he is who he is. Has their friend, and that's what matters. Herschel Green in the Walking Dead comic. Lost his eldest kids to walkers. Goes to the prison. Youngest kids get beheaded, and then during the attack on the prison, his last son gets shot and killed as they are trying to escape. Gives up on life and begs to be killed! Exclamation mark. There are so many characters you could say the same for, but I'm currently rereading it, and his character is among the most tragic. The whole prison war is just ducking brutal. It's not even a war in the comics. It's a massacre. Rickety Cricket. I was a priest before I met you guys. Shut up, street rat. The brother and sister from the Grave of the Fireflies. That's based on a true story. The only difference is the brother didn't die, but went on to write the story plagued with guilt for not being able to save his sister. Oh man, don't tell me this. The only way I was able to not burst into tears at the mere mention of the film was that I thought it was fictional. Klaus from the Umbrella Academy literally gets kidnapped and tortured for like 2 days without any of his siblings noticing. Also brought up seeing dead people, which would obviously screw up any child. Was locked in a cemetery for hours, etc. No one really cared about him and just saw him as this stoner and cold and see the whole time, has basically calling out for help. Also Dave, yeah, really felt for him when he started to finally control his power, only for the rest of them to not believe him. I think we've all felt the hopelessness of not being believed at some point in our lives. For me, that made the scene where he summoned Ben that much more glorious though. I felt so bad for him and so mad at the others, and then Ben just goes apeshit and him just celebrating. The squirrel in Ice Age. Poor fellow just wants his acorn. We were just watching this with my 5-year-old and my husband says he's some kind of squirrel rat. Oh my gosh, that's why his name's Scrat. And I just laughed because I never realized that either. That one lady who gets picked up by the pterodactyls in Jurassic World and then almost drowns before getting picked up again, only to be eaten by a mosasaurus. All she did was say her fin cold and have a bachelor party. You know that had to be a writer trying to get back at his fiancée for not allowing him to have a bachelor party, so he figured he'd kill her fictionally. That has to be the only explanation for such a long unnecessary scene. Jack's friend in Titanic. Imagine, you sneak onto a world-class cruise with your best friend in the whole world, only for him to completely ignore you for a mediocre girl, only for you to ducking die when the ship sinks. All these years ABD countless rewatches, and I never considered what happened to him. They show him getting crushed by one of the smokestacks Ike. Ocarina of Time Link. Poor dude lived a tragedy. In BOTW Link lost. Fell asleep for 100 years. Woke up with all of his friends dead because of him. And is expected to fix everything. When you put it that way, it's basically the setup to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Squidward. Was anything sadder than when he had to firmly grasp it? What about the time all those Krabby Patties went right to his thighs and then he blew up? Luigi. Poor guy just wants to be treated as an equal to his brother, but he's always seen as player 2. Not right. Not fair. As a kid I always played Luigi and never Mario, simply for the fact that I felt bad for him and wanted to prove to him that not everyone hated him. Kids are weird, man. Todd in the episode of Community where they divide into study groups. No offense. None taken. A single teardrop running down his face. Offense taken. Offense taken. The fish from SpongeBob who is always hurting his leg. Like, at this point it's not just a series of coincidences. It's a full-blown curse, as whenever his leg recovers it is injured almost immediately after. When will the final injury ensue, and he will be forced to amputate? Will we ever know? His life is a perpetual chain of events resulting in pain and suffering that cannot be stopped. Maceus. R.I.P. Hoos. He dug too deep for the boys, but I believe he didn't regret a thing besides not being around for his daughter. Daddy, you need to go to work, ducking killed me. The little match girl. She is homeless, starving, freezing, and lonely. Then she dies. My mom thought that it was too sad, so when she would tell me this story she'd change the ending and tell that just as her last match was about to go out, a woman saw the girl, took her home, gave her a nice bath and a room, and adopted her. Years later when I was old enough she told me the actual ending and that she had changed it on purpose. Do you feel like she made the right decision? A barren mortal getting his eyes popped out. Poor guy. Any citizen in the same city as a superhero. At some point that shit has to get old. Honey, an evil villain is going to release toxic gas at 5 PM. If Pickleman doesn't surrender himself. Are the gas masks in the kitchen cabinet or in the RV? Edited to at, I legit pulled Pickleman out of my ass and didn't know it was a real thing. Sorry for the unintentional reference. God, can you imagine the car insurance rates your deductible doesn't cover Being stepped on by the Hulk. This is the third time this year you've claimed your car was used as a projectile weapon by Superman. Maybe park in a different lot. Anyway, your rates are going up again. Not to mention 8-month waiting list for windshield replacements. Well, if Doctor Doom had announced this was going to happen, we could have stocked up. At one point there was going to be a show kind of like The Office that took place at an insurance company that exists in a world of superheroes. Never came to pass, though. Sydney Prescott. She's had, what, 8 different serial killers after her? Pretty much everyone she's known or dated has been brutally murdered. And all because she did nothing. She did nothing to deserve a life of torment. But wait. There's more. Another Scream is coming. So far only Dewey is confirmed. Doofy and his vacuum also confirmed. Kif. Sigh. All the clone troopers. I feel so bad for them. They were just used by the Republic and then just thrown away after the Clone Wars. Alucard from Castlevania. Alucard will always annoy me because I didn't realize until SSBU that his name is just Dracula backwards. Any character that loses their glasses, then while they are crawling on the ground looking for them, the glasses get broken. I have no idea why, but that moment always makes me feel worse than most other things. The Twilight Zone episode Time Enough at Last. I felt that crunch. There was always the large print books. Jess Pinkman. Man. Life just would not let him sort himself out. He wasn't really bad. Just broken. The bit where he covered for his kid brother's drugs. I think that was the real Jess. Like the episode in The Tweakers, House with the ATM. That one really showed me that Jesse just got caught up in shit that he wasn't meant to be in. Helga from Hey Arnold. My all-time favorite character. I don't justify bullying, but damn, that young lady is complicated and unlucky. It feels like Hey Arnold cartoon was completely revolving around her story, not Arnold's. I always liked that they showed her family life as a way to show why she acts the way she does. It worked so much better than the shows that are like, this character is a bully. That's their entire character. Thomas from the Maze Runner series of novels. That kid is put through a ridiculous amount of emotional and physical trauma, only to have everything he's ever done be destroyed by himself. And then there's poor Chuck. He literally just wanted to be happy and didn't do anything to hurt anyone. The beginning of the Fever Code seriously made me feel for Thomas though too. Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. He ended up truly caring about Quill and the others. He sacrificed himself to ensure the safety and well-being of the others. I also loved that he called Groot Twig. I cried when he died. His bonding with Rocket really got me. GOTG2 had some fantastic character development not often seen in sequels. It really made the entire sequel. It was the unexpected father moment you didn't know you wanted when the father moment Peter did want ended up being corrupted. Yandu was his real daddy. Tears. The Cabbage Cart Guy. It's all a ploy by the Lettuce Association of Basing Say. There is no ploy. Would you like a vacation to lovely Ligleogay? Poor butter stew pure for this world. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.